Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Tushar Dedia. I am your new biology teacher. Without wasting much time, let us start today's class. In this class, we are going to discuss about a new unit. Unit name is Genetics and Evolution, in which we are starting new chapter number 5, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Students, whenever we talk about genetics and variation and inheritance, one thing comes in our mind, that is DNA. So, what is DNA? And how DNA is responsible for transmission of characters from parents to offspring. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss all these things about DNA and how this DNA transfer from parents to offspring. Okay, so when if we are studying about DNA and all these things without mentioning name of Watson and Crick, it is like eating a meal without a starter. So let's start with starter. In 20th century, there are many questions related genetic materials and how this genetic material pass, and what is DNA and what is the structure of DNA. All things are there are lots of questions. And then time comes. In 1953, when James Watson and Francis Crick discovered the structure of DNA, which is look like this. They said this DNA is look like this, which is composed of two double strands, and both the strands are moving antiparallel to each other. And these strands are made up of sugar phosphate backbone, which is joined by hydrogen bond with the nitrogen base. They also suggested that how this DNA are making copies of themselves, which is this process known as a DNA replication, in which DNA makes copies of themselves. And these copies are going into the new organism or new cell. When cell divide, this DNA will divide into two and make another second part of that DNA, and both the new strand are going into the new cell, new daughter cell. Okay, so this is all about DNA and Watson and Crick. So let's come to the main course. The new chapter is Principle of Inheritance and Variation, which is present in unit number 7, Genetics and Evolution. First of all, let us talk about genetics. In genetics, what is the genetics? Genetics is a branch of biology in which we study and mechanism of inheritance, in which we study principle and mechanism of inheritance and variation. Now another question arises, that what is inheritance and what is the variation? So what is the inheritance? Inheritance is process by which characters pass from parents to offspring. Means inheritance is the process by which characters or trait are passed from parents to offspring. For example, if any father have blue eyes and mother also have blue eyes, and they brought to the new son which also have blue eyes, so the character is blue eyes is a character. And how this pass from both the parents to the son, this is called inheritance, which means characters are inheritance in the parents to offspring. Now another word is variation. Now what is variation? Variation is a degree by which offspring are differ from parents, which means every offspring produced by parents are different from their parents. It is not identical to each other or identical to parents. This is due to sexual reproduction. This variation occurs due to sexual reproduction. From the beginning, human knows that something which is present in sexual reproduction which is responsible for variation in the offspring. With the increases in knowledge, with the time, humans are very curious about to know that how these characters are passed from parents to the son. They very well know that something is passing from parents to son or parents to offspring. That's the reason. And what is the proof that they know that characters are passing from parents to son or parents to offspring? And proof is, from beginning, humans are breeding their animals with the best character of parents. For example, one cow breed with another male cow which have better characters or better desirable characters. For example, if human want more milk, then he will cross their female cow with the male cow. Okay, so this is the crossing and passing of characters from parent to offspring. They know from beginning, but the thing is they don't know that how these characters are passing from parents to son. In what pattern this passing from son. And then one man comes in a 20th century, in a mid of 19th century, with their experiments on pea plant. The name of that scientist is known as George Mendel, the big man of genetics, also known as the father of genetics because of their tremendous work on garden pea plant. So now we will discuss about how Mendel's conducted their experiment, and on the experiment and observation they give certain rules and principles which is known as Mendelian law of inheritance or principles of inheritance. So let us start with the laws or principles of inheritance suggested by or proposed by George Mendel. He conducted their experiments on pea plant. Now questions come arise that why he selected a pea plant as for experimental material. There are many plants in the world and also there are many organisms, but why they only conducted their experiment on the pea plant? So let us see why he selected selection of pea plant. Pea plant has certain unique characters. That's the only reason that they chosen this as an experimental material, and those reasons are: pea has a contrasting character. What type of contrasting character? Contrasting characters means, let's take a length of plant. Let's talk length of the plant. Plant length is a character. And the contrasting character which is found in pea is tall plant, and another one is a small plant. Like this, there are 7 characters found in pea plant with the contrasting character. For another example is seed color. Two types of seed color found in pea. One color is a yellow and another seed color is a green color. So like this, All these characters are contrasting, which is very useful in observation and conclusion on their observation. One IMP question in MCQ can be asked that what is the botanical name of pea plant? Botanical name of pea plant is a Pisum sativum. Note down this. Pisum sativum. This can be asked in MCQ. Note down this. Now another reason responsible for selecting pea plant as an experimental material is pea plant have short lifespan. Why this short lifespan is most important in experiment? Let me give one example. That there are two scientists working on genetics, and one selected pea plant and another selected mango plant. यहाँ पर एक साइंटिस्ट ने पी प्लांट को सिलेक्ट किया और दूसरे साइंटिस्ट ने मैंगो प्लांट को सिलेक्ट किया. उनकी स्टडी के लिए उनको 5th से 10th जनरेशन तक को स्टडी करना था. कितनी जनरेशन? Pea plant have very short lifespan, around 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 months, where on the other hand mango have long lifespan, around 20 to 25 years. Okay, now after some time the first scientist comes up with the result in only 3 years. On the other hand, scientist number 2 who selected mango for experimental material as an experimental material, he said, oh I अभी तो प्लांट बड़ा भी नहीं हुआ, मतलब अभी तो प्लांट बड़ा भी नहीं हुआ. तो now you understand that why short lifespan is more important. If ये साइंटिस्ट 2 का एक्सपेरिमेंट कभी खत्म नहीं होगा, वो खुद खत्म हो जाएगा, मतलब पर उसका एक्सपेरिमेंट खत्म नहीं होगा, क्योंकि मैंगो का लाइफ स्पैन 20 या 25 ईयर्स है और इंसान अपन लोग जी सकते हैं अराउंड 70 to 80 ईयर्स. इतने में तो सिर्फ 1 या 2 जनरेशन तक की स्टडी हम कर सकते हैं, ज़्यादा नहीं कर सकते. दैट्स द रीजन short lifespan is most important character or reason to select the pea plant as an experimental material. Third reason is to flower shows self pollination. What is self pollination? This is the flower, these are the anthers, and these are carpels, an anther. Pollen grains will produce from here and transfer to the stigma of carpel of the same flower, known as self pollination. What is self pollination? Self pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma from the in a same plant or a same flower. On a same flower means इसी फ्लावर का पोलन ग्रेन उसी फ्लावर के स्टिग्मा पर जाकर फर्टिलाइज करेगा तो उसे हम लोग बोलेंगे सेल्फ पोलिनेशन. ओके, इन pea plant self pollination is possible due to presence of corolla, and another reason to selected pea as a experimental material is cross pollination is easily. देखो बेटा, यहाँ पर एक फ्लावर है. These all are stamen and these are carpel or stigma. What Mendel do for cross pollination? He remove these all anthers, cut by scissor. Remove these all the stamen. So what will happen? This particular flower don't have anthers to pollinate their stigma. What will happen this time? In that case, pollination from another flower will come and fuse with that stigma and female gamete and fertilize that female gamete. Okay, so this is cross pollination and it is easy in pea plant. Now working method of Mendel's. Okay. अब ये देखेंगे कि मेंडल्स ने कौन से बेसिस पर वर्क किया और किसकी वजह से उसे सक्सेस मिली. तो फर्स्ट रीजन इज टू दे स्टडीड ओनली वन कैरेक्टर एट अ टाइम. वन कैरेक्टर एट टाइम. He follow old man, as old man say that focus on one thing which will lead you to success. मेंडल ने वही किया, एक ही चीज को फोकस किया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वन कैरेक्टर इज लेंथ. इन लेंथ he follow or he observe only length, whether it is tall plant or whether it is a drop plant. Okay. Then used all the possible techniques to avoid cross pollination with the undesirable pollen grain. Then he used all the techniques which is present on that time to avoid cross pollination. We know that what is cross pollination and to fusion with the undesirable pollen grains. Then Mendel applied all the mathematical formula and statistical formula for to analyze the observation. मीन्स जो उसने ऑब्जर्व किया, पी प्लांट के रिजल्ट्स मिले, उसको एनालाइज करने के लिए उसने मैथमेटिक्स और स्टैटिस्टिक के सारे रूल्स यूज किए, जो कि बायोलॉजी में फर्स्ट टाइम था कि किसी ने मैथमेटिकल रूल्स यूज इन आवर बायोलॉजी. They selected 5 contrasting character which is given in your books. As we see here, these are the 3 characters and another character is in which present in your text NCERT textbook. Use true breeding line, which means they use true breeding line. Now question is, what is true breeding line? True breeding line, which is we can obtain true breeding line by self pollinating the particular pollen grain with that stigma of same flower. अगर बार बार हम लोग ये पर्टिकुलर प्लांट में सेल्फ पोलिनेशन करवाएंगे तो उससे हमें एक स्टेबल कैरेक्टर मिलेगा, जो कि जिसे हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, ब्रीडिंग ट्रू लाइन. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज inheritance of one gene, which means monohybrid. What Mendel do? Mendel crossed the tall pea plant with dwarf plant or small pea plant. They make cross between tall and dwarf plants, and he get all the tall plants, which is okay. Then he self-pollinated this all the F1 generation, and surprisingly he found that in F2 generation, from 100%, 75% plants are tall and remain 25% plants are dwarf. Then he confused that how this is possible, that dwarf plant doesn't occur between in a F1 generation, and how it come in a F2 generation. Then he said that characters is controlled by one factor which is known as gene. And what is gene? Gene is a fragment of DNA which is code for particular protein or particular trait. This is known as gene. And this gene or this factor is present in plants in a pair. For example, tall, let's take a T for tall and another T for tall. So here this is the T is a gene which is present in pair, T plus T. Okay, and this T known as the allele. Now what is the allele? Note down this definition of allele. Allele is a gene which code for contrasting trait. Okay, allele is a gene which is code for contrasting character. For example, here character is a length of plant. So allele are tall and dwarf. Tall and dwarf is a allele for gene length. Okay, and allele is a different form of gene. Now let me give one more example. If we consider a Coca-Cola as a gene, then the different flavors of Coca-Cola will be considered as a allele for that particular gene. And for this Coca-Cola, alleles are different flavors. Okay. Now let's me give another example on biology. In biology, eye color is controlled by gene. Okay, and the different color of eye is known as allele for particular character. For example, brown, yellow, blue eyes, these all are alleles for eye color. So here eye color is a character or gene, and these different colors of eyes is considered as a allele for that particular gene. Okay. For our understanding, let's take a T. T for a tall plant, which is taken by Mendel, and it is a pure line. That's why we taken two allele of same gene for a dominant gene. Okay. Another dwarf plant is having both the alleles are same, which is we consider take it in a small letter. Then during gamete formation, what will happen? Both the alleles are separate from each other. Okay, and then here T and T, both the alleles are same. That's why all the gametes will form is similar. Here this is the male. This is the male parents and this is female parents. In male parents, all the gametes will having tall alleles, and in female parent, all the allele having dwarf gametes. Alleles for all the gametes having allele for dwarf plants. Okay. Now what will get is TT here. This is called a hybrid plant. Which is hybrid for only one character. This is the main reason this cross considered as a monohybrid cross, and this hybrid known as a monohybrid. Now, what he do? This is the parent and this is the F1 generation. He allowed to self-pollinate this all the F1 generation plant. And what kind of gametes will form in F1 generation? Let's see. These both the alleles are dissimilar. That's why two types of gametes will form in each parent. First one is a T and another one is T. Okay, and then the zygote will form. उसमें से जो zygote बनेंगे वो zygote किस तरह के कॉम्बिनेशन में होंगे वो हम पन्नेट स्क्वायर की मदद से देख सकते हैं. Let's see the पन्नेट स्क्वायर. Here we will write male gametes and here we will write female gametes. Male gametes produce two type of gametes. First one is T and another one is a T. First one is a capital T and another one is a small T. Small T which is responsible for dwarf plant and capital T is responsible for tall plant. Similarly, in female plant, two type of gametes will form. Capital T will be responsible for tall plant and small T is responsible for dwarf plant. Let's take how much different combinations can be occur in a zygote. Here T plus T, here T plus small t, here T plus small t and here T and T. अब देखो यहाँ पर both are same alleles for tall plant, so that's why one tall plant will form. Okay, here both the alleles are for dwarf plants, so one dwarf plant will occur. Now the question is, what will affect this produce in a phenotype? What is phenotype? Phenotype is a character which we can see for our naked eyes, which is a morphology. It is a morphological, phenotype is a morphological character. And this all are considered as a genotype. Genotype is a characters of gene. Okay, genetic condition is known as a genotype, and phenotypic characters is known as a phenotype. Here tall and dwarf is a phenotype, and this TT and this TD is considered as a genotype. Here we can get three type of genotype. One will this TT, another one is a small TT, and this is the hybrid genotype, in which Mendel found that in this condition tall plant will produce, which is similar to the parent of tall plant. मतलब इससे जो प्रोड्यूस होगा वो टॉल प्लांट के जो पेरेंट था उसके सिमिलर होगा, which means it produce only two phenotypes, tall and dwarf. On other hand, he produced three type of genotype. This is small capital T and capital T, capital and small t and small t. These all are known as a genotype for phenotype. Then he shows that in a hybrid condition TT and this TT will form tall plant. Okay, on the basis of this observation, Mendel proposed a certain principles and rules, which is now known as laws of inheritance or principles of inheritance. There are two laws. First principle is law of dominance, in which he states that trait is controlled by two factors. Trait is controlled by factors. First one is a trait controlled by factors, which means particular character is controlled by particular factor. Okay. Another is factors occur in a pair. As we can see here, factors occur in a pair. And in third part he says that in dissimilar pair, one allele dominates the other. Here we can see here that in dissimilar gametes, in dissimilar zygote, only one character is shown physically, which is tall plant. So we can say here that tall plant is dominant on small or dwarf plants. So it means first law of dominance states that all the traits are controlled by factor. Factors is present in a pair, and in dissimilar pair, one allele dominates the other, and the allele which dominates the other is known as a dominant allele, and the allele which is not expressed their phenotype in a hybrid condition known as a recessive allele. So here small t is a recessive allele and capital T is a dominant allele. Okay, and another principle is Another principle also considered as a law of segregation or principle of segregation, in which Mendel says that during gamete formation, allele of pair segregate from each allele, and in that way that each gamete will get only one allele, which means suppose this is the plant and there are two different types of allele present. During gamete formation, what will happen? Both the allele are segregate from each other and go into that manner that one gamete will get only one allele, which is either for a tall plant or either for small plant. Okay. So this is the two main principles which proposed by Mendel. So student, today we will discuss about principles of inheritance and variation, in which we discuss Mendel's work and how they work, and monohybrid cross, and the two principles of inheritance. First one is the law of dominance and another principle is the law of segregation. In the next class we will discuss about dihybrid cross and another topics from this chapter, which is linkage and crossing over and all these things. Okay student, okay, टाटा बाय बाय, फिर मिलेंगे अगले क्लास में. Thank you.